Hey guys, make sure that you're on my second channel. The link is in the description of my first channel. You should see it in the chat. The link is in the chat. I wanted to, for a lot of people that, just getting off of work, have lives, wanted to just discuss with you guys, as you know, probably at this point, that Nature Boy was denied bond. There's surprisingly, there's a lot of people that have reached out to me, DMing me, asking me, was it true that he didn't get bond? And it is true, very much so, that Nature Boy did not get bond. And he's probably not going to get bond the next 3 weeks when they do another bond hearing. Because in that state, I'm hearing it's every 3 weeks that they do a bond hearing instead of every 30 days. So we don't know what's going to come from that. Um, I wanted to also play again the video that I put together of why he didn't get a bond, and it's because it's a very powerful prosecutor. She's a female. You're looking at her right now, and the way she presented the information sealed the deal, convinced the judge, and the judge wasn't buying it and went on the side of the prosecutor, whose job is to prosecute you, not to set you free. And that's why he's still locked up now. It's not looking good for him. We're really here to talk about True, because I really believe in my heart. I'm gonna let you listen to a video, because True tried to do some slick stuff today, and I had to call him out on it. I'm calling him out again on it. Um, True's gonna get on Bigo, which I thought was a little bit shady. So you go to record him, because you know how Nature Boy wants everybody to record his camp, his women, his wives. Nature was only True around now. He wants to spread the message that he's a good person. True gets on Bigo today, and he's trying to clean stuff up, but he's also trying to clown. But he's getting clowned by the audience, because a lot of people don't understand why he's still there. You people have the opportunity to leave. Nature Boy's gone. You don't know when he's going to get out. From my understanding from the legal system, I'm hearing they could get together, the DA, and she could say to Nature Boy's court-appointed lawyer, he is a flight risk. She's a danger to society, and they could give him an automatic extra 4 months. They can hit him with a they call it a danger hearing. So Nature Boy might not get out for, who knows, for 6-8 months, and you're gonna sit there and represent someone who dogged you out, got you looking crazy, got you sounding crazy. So True decided, because he's hiding, because see, I believe that True is gonna end up leaving, because you could tell he's at his wits end. He's not going to be able to deal with the people disrespecting him on a daily basis, like Nature Boy loved it, the attention. He called it attention. I call it disrespect. He's not going to be able to stand that. And what's going to happen is he's going to either snap, or he's going to end up leaving. There's something up with True. There's something up with True. And I really believe that, because when I went to go record them on Bigo, if they don't want you to record them, they put the screen black. Why all of a sudden you're trying to teach the knowledge? Remember the knowledge, remember the teacher. Why all of a sudden you don't want to be seen, but we hear your voice? Is Nature Boy telling you now no more recordings because of what the court is saying? But get on there still, but have it so that people can't see you being recorded, trying to spread my name, spread the word. So I'm gonna let you listen anyways to the court hearing, And then we're going to get into how stupid True sounded while people was just straight disrespecting him. He needs to just go home. Because number one, he should be putting his child first. And he's not. For number one, he should be putting that child first. And for number two, he should be getting out of there and getting himself together because he's got a lot of issues. I want you to look at True's face in this video. He looks like he has that he's going crazy look. But we're gonna play for the ones that may have missed the full bond hearing. We're gonna play that first, and then I'm gonna play this weak little video that he put up when he should have just stayed his little behind off of Bigo. He went on Bigo because he knew he could hide behind that little black screen. He can't go on to Instagram and speak his piece and hide on there. So he went on Bigo. He's a coward. He needs to take himself home. He needs to be a man to his child. Stop trying to get out of your job. Your job is not to free Natureboy. Your job is to take care of Ja and to make sure he's not in CPS and to make sure that your family's okay. Because when Natureboy was out, he was not thinking about you. But I'm going to play this, and then we're going to play just recently, I'll say about 2 hours ago, he got on Bigo sounding like a cuckoo bird. And just listen to how he sounds. True sounds like he's about to snap. But let's listen again to this here. He is about to snap. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what I just did. Just had the thing. Hold on 1 second. But bro man about to snap. He need to go sit down somewhere. Guys, make sure you like this video. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, you do so. Making sure that that notification bell is on with the option all. So when I upload these videos, you are the first one to watch.
Put it down. Check it out. This is what I wrote. I'm leaving here on Friday, and it's Tuesday, so I'm such an awesome guy. I'm so loving, but I also have a wrath. My spirit is still strong. Any moment now, I can feel it coming. Boom. Lottery, we won. Yep. I know I'm about to hit the lottery through two of my wives. I see it, I feel it. I'm about to come into a lot of money so I can build my eco village. We're gonna grow our own food. We're gonna live in the tropics with solar energy and luxury huts. I see us probably in Mexico. I want to say Mexico. Yep. It's me and my ladies. No more crowds of people with me. Just me and my ladies, and that's it. I want safety and privacy, and I intend to build something no one will be able to destroy. I won't give up. I will have my eco village in the tropics with my wives, where I will live in happy and peace with fruit trees and beautiful beaches and waterfalls. I'm free. I will appreciate everything way better.
Since the waiver at times, having heard argument from counsel, the motion for bond is going to be denied. I do find the defendant to be a danger to the community, a risk to intimidating the victim. There's also a risk of flight, and also the risk of committing an additional felony. So therefore, bond will be denied. That will conclude his hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor, and that concludes my business before you this morning. May I be excused?
Yes, you may.
Thank you. The night of that day, the defendant brought her to his room and proceeded to rape her. She talks about how she told him no multiple times, that she did not want to have sex with him, but that he proceeded to do so despite her saying no. Specifically, he told her that she was his property and that she could not leave. The defendant then proceeded to rape her in the room. The victim disclosed to law enforcement how her body tensed up and she was not cooperating. And at that time, the defendant even physically had to turn her over to continue the acts of penetration. at that point, she was crying and wanted to leave, but felt like she could not leave because she was fearful of the defendant and because of how manipulative he is. They ended up going to sleep, and at the middle of the night into the early next morning, the victim was able to leave, and then she contacted law enforcement to tell them about what happened. When law enforcement receives this request, they then go to the house where this incident where the incident occurred. And when they go to the house, they encounter multiple individuals, approximately about 15 individuals. The reason they're going to the house is because when the victim came forward, she also tells the police that the defendant ended up posting sexually explicit videos of them engaging in sexual intercourse on social media as an act of revenge for her leaving the cult. And the kind of workings of the cult is important for the court to consider today because it does go to whether the defendant poses a significant risk to the community as well as to the victim. And what law enforcement has learned is that this defendant calls himself apparently God or three God. He refers to himself as the Messiah, and he's also known as Natureboy on social media channels across different platforms. He refers to himself this way and orders other members of his cult or his followers to engage in physically abusive behavior. For instance, our victim who came forward stated on multiple occasions the defendant would order the women to slap her or hit her, and she was not the only one. He would also order other women to hit and abuse other women in the cult, as well as the men involved. Based on this, a lot of the members, including the victim, were fearful of the defendant, fearful to essentially leave or in any way defend themselves. She goes on to talk about kind of how he is manipulative over everyone involved and that the cult does travel. For instance, they've been to Costa Rica, Panama, and even Nicaragua, where they were apparently all kicked out for endangering and threatening the national security of those countries. They've also been to Puerto Rico and Hawaii. The defendant has an arrest from Hawaii and was forced to leave as well with the cult members. And in addition to the travel that this cult does under the leadership of the defendant or this so-called person that he refers to himself as God, we, the state, received an anonymous tip that the defendant did have one of his followers go to Mexico to essentially start setting up a place for him for that when he gets out in bond, that's potentially where he could go. While that was an anonymous tip, we did observe on social media one of his members in Mexico just recently, as a few days ago, confirming that he is in Mexico. And so I mentioned that to the court because it's all part of the cult's inner workings and how they operate and travel. The defendant was arrested for false imprisonment, rape, prohibition of nude or sexually explicit electronic transmissions, multiple counts, because he did post multiple videos of the victim and him engaging in sexual intercourse on social media. And I will reiterate, she did not consent to those videos being posted on social media. He does have criminal history, and we'll go through each one of them. The first one being from July of 2006, a driving while license suspended charge. It was ultimately dismissed out of Monroe County, but the reason I bring it up is because he had a failure to appear on that charge. In February of 2012, he had a driving while license. In February of 2013, out of Rockdale County, he originally was arrested for an aggravated battery charge. It did get reduced to a battery, but it was a battery conviction. In January of 2016, he had an interference with custody and battery arrest. It did ultimately get dismissed, but I bring that to the court because of his previous battery conviction, and then he being arrested for another battery offense. In June of 2020, he did have a conviction for violation of rules and orders out of Hawaii, which resulted in Hawaii requiring that the defendant and other members of his cult leave. In addition, what he currently has pending is a warrant for domestic violence charge and a temporary protective order out of Ohio. That is another location that he's been at. From what the state is aware, a former member of the cult, who was also his wife at some point, has a domestic case out of Ohio where she is the victim and the defendant is the perpetrator. They actually have a scheduled hearing for that May 16th. And so that is pending. I go through all that criminal history because not only do the facts show that the defendant is a danger or risk to the community, but also does his criminal history. He has a failure to appear, he has a prior violent conviction, and he has a current pending warrant for domestic violence out of Ohio. In addition, Your Honor, before I tell you about the other risk factors that the state's concerned if he's granted bond, I do want to read a statement from the victim in this case. She is fearful if the defendant is given a bond, and so I think it is appropriate. Before I do that, the state plays those videos because it goes to show the power and control that the defendant has over the individuals that has been part of his cult, and this intimidation and manipulation that he does with his members. It is a significant risk to the community. What's important also for the court to consider is that the defendant had followers of him record him while he was in the jail on a phone call and upload it to social media. In those calls that were uploaded to social media, he specifically tells one of his members to go and talk to the victim in this case. And he says, specifically, you need to make noise. Do everything you can do. Please go talk to her. This is an example, a textbook example of someone who is trying to intimidate a witness and intimidate a victim from continuing to come forward or pursue charges. What's also important to note from that video I played, he says, even if you lock me up, my spirit is going to live. And I think that is evidenced by all of this video evidence that's showing on social media. He is getting in contact with his followers, instructing his followers to essentially do things on his behalf from inside the jail. Can you only imagine if he is granted bond and back out into society, what he can do? I'm definitely concerned for the victim and her safety. And so I'm going to read her statement to give some context to that, Your Honor. But she does state, I am fully willing to testify in this case, even though I am nervous about testifying. I'm asking that you please do not grant the defendant bond. Can you please issue an order ordering him that he have no contact with me whatsoever? He is a danger to the community. He has abused many of the members of his cult mentally, physically, and emotionally. He's ordered people to abuse one another physically for his enjoyment and pleasure. I watched him whip a girl with a leather belt multiple times for 15 minutes straight, ordering her to kiss our feet while whipping her. He didn't stop hitting her until he felt like it and until she cried in submission. He even smiled while abusing her, quoting, "This is starting to feel good." He prevented me from leaving his home that night I wanted to go. He took me into another room after mentally abusing me for up to 2 hours and after ordering the women in his home to abuse me. He proceeded to have sex with me when I told him I did not want to have sex with him multiple times. He has done this with me on multiple occasions and have taken advantage of not only me, but a multitude of women who have come to him. He has no respect for the women that comes into his life and even has devalued, degraded, and humiliated them on multiple social platforms online. He's openly told the members of the cult to reach out to me to try to persuade me to drop the charges. I'm afraid of the power and control he has over his cult members, and I believe he cannot be in contact with any of them so that they can start to carry on with their own lives. He has slapped and abused men in his cult as well. He's been physically abusive to the wives to the point that one of them lost feeling in her hands after being slapped by him. If he were to be released on bond, I would not feel safe at all, nor do I feel the people who were living with him would be safe. Please do not grant him a bond in the interest of justice, the safety of our community, and for the safety of other victims who have and may never come forward. I am asking that you please decline this. There's briefly as to why I believe that this defendant is a significant risk and that in looking at all 4 factors, he should not be granted bond. For instance, he is a risk of failing to appear or flee the jurisdiction as I stated before, received that anonymous tip about followers setting up a place for him in Mexico if he was granted bond. And we were able to confirm on social media that one of his followers is in Mexico. In addition, as I stated, he's been to Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Panama, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, has a pending charge out of Ohio, had an arrest conviction from Hawaii, and apparently was kicked out of all the other 3 countries for security measures. He also has that previous failure to appear on that driving while license suspended that I mentioned before. He's a risk to the persons and the property of the community, his followers, as evidenced by some of the videos I showed to you and the other videos that are uploaded on his social media pages. Will do anything that he says. He's proven to be a manipulator and someone who has power and control over the followers in his cult. If he is granted bond, there is no idea what he will order his followers to do, especially since we have evidence that he's instructing his followers to contact the victim straight from jail. He's a significant risk of committing another felony, as evidenced by his history. He does have some violent history with a battery conviction and a pending domestic violence charge. But in addition, the evidence that we've shown to the court of the assaultive nature that he requires his members to take part of, if he was released on bond, then there's a significant risk that he would commit another felony or someone will on his behalf. In his social media videos, he's also repeatedly said that he's above the law. He is God. He is nature. And so this individual who sees himself in this light believes that no one else can control him. He is the ultimate being, and he is the only one in control of anything. No laws that the court puts or no conditions that the court would put on any type of bond would ensure the safety of others or the community. And what's also most important for the court to consider is that he's a significant risk of intimidating the witnesses or the victim in this case. Specifically, he has been violent with her, he's been violent with other individuals, and he did tell her that if he wanted to, he could kill her. And as I stated to the court, he has instructed his followers to reach out to her. Your Honor, in looking at all 4 of these factors, there is no way that this court can grant the defendant bond. I understand that the defense will argue that he is alleged to commit these acts and that he is innocent of these offenses. But even outside of that, even outside of what he is part of in this cult and his actions as far as his criminal history and what he does in these videos and what people have come forward, he is a significant risk to the community and therefore bond should not be granted.
Thank you, counsel. Defense?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Now, this dude is clearly a public defender. Listen to how he sounds. He sounds straight like a public defender. Public defenders work with the courts. But listen how he sounds. There's nothing he could say to even help Natureboy today because the prosecutor tore it up. She already sealed the deal. But listen to him.
The alleged facts in this case, they grab your attention, Judge. You might even call them shocking. But what I'm going to ask that the court does here is see past those allegations because Mr. Bishop does remain cloaked in the presumption of innocence, as the court is aware. And instead, I ask that the court laser focus on the 𝗪𝗓 factors and consider granting Mr. Bishop a bond. Mr. Bishop is originally from New York City, Judge. He moved to Atlanta about 20 years ago. He's been based in Atlanta ever since then, even though he has done some traveling, as the state spoke about. Atlanta is where Mr. Bishop hangs his hat. Mr. Bishop just turned 40 in the jail on April 29th. He did spend some time in the Army, Judge, before being medically discharged in the 2000s. After being discharged, he did get his high school diploma through Job Corps. Mr. Bishop has always been gainfully employed. He got his barber's license. After getting his high school diploma, he opened a barbershop in 2013 that's called Bishop's HD Cuts. He sold that business in 2015, Judge, but it's still local, still being run, although no longer by Mr. Bishop. Mr. Bishop does have a stable address in Decatur, Georgia. He's currently 1 year into a 2-year lease, Judge. That's where the warrants in this case were executed at that apartment complex in Decatur, and that's where he would plan to continue to stay when and if he's able to bond out of DeKalb County Jail. Your Honor, Mr. Bishop is suffering from extreme dental issues in jail. He has a tooth that is decayed down to the root that's causing him extreme pain. He has sought medical care for that situation, and all that he's been able to get for a response is that there's currently a long waiting list at the jail to be seen for that sort of issue, Judge. I understand that the state does have concerns about Mr. Bishop being flight risk. In order to allay those fears, the defense has no objection to house arrest being a condition of bond. We would not object to an ankle monitor. Of course, we would ask that the court allow Mr. Bishop to leave his house in Decatur to meet with his attorneys for medical care. For anything else.
So there you have it with the court-appointed lawyer. Natureboy needs to get a lawyer. He's supposed to be a guru. He needs to get a lawyer because he's in a lot of trouble, and he put himself in this trouble. All that little clowning show that he used to do, disrespecting people, making people sit like dogs, slapping the dudes, which they all have left. Only one that is around is True. And let me just let you listen, because there's something else I want to show you. But I want you to listen to this Bigo live that he did a few hours ago, and look in True's face. He's starting to look more and more like he's going crazy. And listen to his conversation. Please listen to his conversation. He's not saying anything, but let's listen to what he has to say.
Being drawn to me, that I would get into. So I was just wondering if Natureboy was something that, randomly got drawn to you, and then it resonated, and that's how, it started for you.
Tiffany, did you understand what I just said?
Yes, I do. I totally understand what you said. I'm not even going to fight with you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Next pagan in line, please. Come forth.
Disrespecting people. Got a nerve.
Hey, Drew, how are you?
Very well. How about yourself?
I won't complain. I didn't get to see the case this morning, but I heard he was denied bail.
Do you have a question?
Yeah, I do have a question. Like, why was so goddamn dumb and still, like, he has a hostage now he in jail, and y'all able to leave while I'm still there. Taking our money to take care of him. He need to stay in jail. He need to stay in jail.
You sound like the back end of a Newport shorts. You should worry about your throatal reasons rather than what we've got going on. Pagan woman. Alex, you're not working. Next pagan in line, please. Come forth and ask a question.
Yes, hi. My question is, how are you doing today, first off?
Well, that is a redundant question to ask of God, because feelings come from thoughts, and thoughts come from a perspective, and I have to hide.
He just called himself a god. Would a god look like that in the face? Would a god even talk to another person like that? Did you hear what he said to that lady? You sound like the end of a Newport cigarette. He's disrespectful, but he's only really disrespecting himself at the end of the day.
Best perspective possible, so therefore I am always feeling good.
Well, actually, it's the other day you responded. You told me you were doing great.
Do you have a question?
I do have a question.
Ask it.
I heard you speak to someone earlier and said he had to study up on all the carbonation.
Ask your question, pagan woman. You're taking too long.
My question is, are y'all accepting members into carbonation?
No.
So even
That's one
studying
question.
all of
We'll get back in line with the rest of you only get one.
Hey, True. So in order,
Hey, go get you an attorney ASAP, but the cab is coming for you.
Pagan man. Come forth with your mortal concerns.
hi, True. How are you?
That's one question, Pagan. Get back in line. Get back in line. You wasted it. You should have thought it out, mortal.
And to the feds are coming for you. We on your neck. Yeah.
Velvet,
Yeah.
is that you, Velvet?
Yeah. We coming after you next.
Come forth, Velvet.
How you gonna deal with y'all woman talk and call another man daddy? How you feel about that?
Velvet. Get back in line. That was one question. No. Don't stop them. Let the pagans line up. Get your tickets, pagans. I should make somebody.
He looks like a demon. Look at him. He looks like a demon. Put a Y in the chat if he looks like a demon.
Comments matter. Would you like to have the weaponry? Would you like to wield the sword in here? Yes, that's a sword. This might be. Don't kick nobody. Just you. And don't mute the people during the lottery because they could have did it on accident. Shady. Yes, it is good to see you in the midst. Next pagan in line, please.
I don't know what you mean by pagan, but my question is, why are you so concerned with the homeless?
Don't you think they got on the construction site, Monty?
Yes.
Bill,
I broke my teeth. I need money.
you have no time. You're not getting paid for this. You're on the clock. I will report you to your supervisor. Continue to.
And your supervisor's in jail.
Bill, come forth with your pagan concerns.
Oh yeah. Do not get out.
There is no if.
What is
There is
that
only
there?
It is no if. There's only when. Like I was telling you earlier, God is time. Just like the seasons come and go with time, and there's nothing you can do about it. The sun rises and falls, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing we can do about this but wait forward the way that it was always orchestrated to unfold. So this is not a matter of this is a matter of when.
I respect that.
Oh yeah. Do you not know how to exit the premises? I should
No, you gotta drop me.
I should escort you out. Next pagan in line.
so can I be your administrator? I won't keep her with nobody.
I don't trust you, pagan. I don't. Prove yourself and maybe I'll consider it.
Okay, how am I supposed to prove myself if you won't make me administrator?
Find a creative avenue.
Cool.
Prove your worth, Morton, and I will consider you. Davis, is that you? Next pagan in line.
Good evening, Pagan. What deal did you get for turning Natureboy in?
Next pagan in line, please.
Oh, you don't want to answer that. You know it's the truth then.
I'll let you stay, pagan. The pagan left. Creating more channels. I hear it's how they get paid. Next pagan, come forth with your mortal concerns.
Pagan, why didn't you answer that question she asked you?
What is your name? You have dreadlocks like a rapper.
That's the feds are coming for you. They're coming.
When? For you. When? Do you have a date?
A date? I don't know, but they're coming for you.
Forefront of your mind.
Cause it is. Just like it's been on yours.
Don't eat forth with your mortal concerns. No, it sounds like you're in the background of an auditorium. Maybe if I strain, I'm sorry. All right. Bring forth your mortal concerns. Get back and you have your question prepared. Next mortal in line, please.
Yeah, brother, I got a question about nature, some knowledge that you can give me. So what are some natural pesticides that you would use as far as your garden, like some without any chemicals? Could you give me a list?
No, I do not have that information.
But you guys are supposed to be ratios.
Get back in line.
They don't live off the land.
Mortal concern. Next.
Hello, heathen. How are you?
That's one question.
How does it look like you?
You wasted your question. Next mortal in line, please.
Hi, can you hear me?
That's one question. Get back in line. Now it's
I have a real question. If you could, would you?
Okay, hold on. Get back into the moment.
Got it.
Okay.
If you could, would you trade places with your God?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
wait. Stop, bro.
Get back in line, thank you, man. Your tone was beyond the.
True.
Mortal.
When you go on training and you look like my profile picture.
What training do you speak of?
Oh, so you do like trannies?
The ones that look kind of hard to tell from whether or not they're a female or a man. I don't like the cheap ones.
Oh, okay, that's dope. I just wanted to see, how far your sex drive went. So do you miss?
That is a secondary question. Get back in line. Next mortal in line, please.
Hello, I just wanted to know if you were aware you look like a bush baby. Blink one more time, bush baby. That part, you big eyed bush baby.
I've never heard
that
of
part. Go climb a tree, little bush baby.
What is a bush baby?
It's a big eyed animal that looks like a gremlin / Furby. That's what you look like. But anywho.
Next mortal in line, please. Next mortal in line, please.
Hey, I am off duty. I don't know why you'd accuse me of something like trying to talk to you while I'm on the clock. You don't know you should be more clairvoyant. I asked you why you care about homeless people, but you didn't have the deign to answer. Nor do you seem to care to answer anyone. You are the worst. You really are. And she's right, you do look like a bush baby, and I haven't asked you any questions except why do you claim to care about homeless people? You fit that in, but you just let it go. Obviously you don't. And no homeless person needs your help, but I'm still curious why you spend time concerned about homeless people. Are you afraid you're going to be one too?
No. Homeless people.
He's afraid he's going to be
adopt
one.
A better mentality so that they can get themselves out of this situation rather than asking for money. Because money does not help anyone. It only amplifies who they already are.
Did you just hear what he said? That y'all don't think we went crazy? Put a Y in the chat. He said homeless people shouldn't be asking, basically begging for money. What do? Oh my God.
And I do not believe that homeless people should exist. We should address why somebody doesn't have a proper place to lay their head, rather than constantly giving them money but never addressing why they're on the street in the first place. You only get one question
because the world
vegan AIDS, man. You get one question. That's the time.
Okay, I don't think it's fair that you didn't answer my first question. However, I want to know, did you get Sheba a good deal when you got your deal for turning Natureboy in?
Is this a sad attempt to create more content for your YouTube channel.
No, I'm asking a question.
There's no deal.
So you turned him in for nothing?
That is a secondary question. You have to get back in line. Next morning.
Hey, Eric. Hey, tell Malia I want to beat them cheeks up.
Next morning in line, please.
Good afternoon, fellow pagan. I have a mortal question. You are inquiring for mortal requests by asking for money and donations, but you're being...
Have your questions prepared before you answer. Next.
Oh, so what's the next step, homie?
The next step is always the first step, which is continue to teach and not get consumed with the pagan worries of legal fees and trials and court dates.
All right. That's all I wanted.
Oh snap! I thought I missed the lottery. I'll get you. I'll get you next time. Next pagan in line, please.
Yes, I have a question. I've been following you guys for over 5 years, way before you got there, and my question is to you: is that why are you denying the universal laws when it comes to the acts of Natureboy? Because one of the laws is called.
Take too long, pagan. Get back in.
I have a question.
I'm sure you do.
Why do you look like you're wearing a filter 24 hours?
That's a big
You funny looking bastard.
Your warrior, he's cutting everybody off. If that's the whole point of this me showing you this. He's being ignorant and rude for no reason because he's mad that his boyfriend didn't get out today.
Funny shaped head. Let me get back.
Now get it all out. You can get back in line. Okay, next move.
Oh, I wanted to know, are you all prepared to go to jail? Because all of you all are going. You long-headed dog.
Whose auntie was that? I'm sure Colt 45 will make you feel better.
See, why you? I was trying to ask y'all a CashApp and you just put it down to me. Like, that's why you broke after for taking $1.
Nothing, pack of noodles won't fit.
Hey, how you doing?
The 𝗡𝗘𝗫𝗧, let's click on your profile picture.
Okay. Well, I have a question because I'm just finding out.
I just wanted to match your face with the ones coming through.
I'm just finding out about you guys' tribe, and I want to know what do you guys stand for? Like, what's your overall mission?
Okay, so when it comes to how people should operate and function, we should function in alignment with the rest of the creatures on the planet. When we examine, we're talking millions of species, millions of species upon the planet. We see that they live off of the planet. They live in harmony with the planet. They live in tune with the planet, and they do not cause destruction upon the very source of their existence. When we look at one creature in particular that is destroying the planet and living against the planet, we find it to be human beings. And we believe that beyond the superficial achievements of college degrees and cars and clothes and jewelry and shoes, we need to really get in tune with nature, because that's the only way we're going to be able to achieve true success. And we also understand that we don't need money. We know for a fact that we don't need money because, for one, no other creature on the planet, which is in the millions, needs money to survive. The only thing you need to survive is the resources that is naturally given to you from the earth. And what money actually acts as is a barrier between that and our rightful relationship with the earth. We believe that morality harmony with each other, and we don't need money as a promissory note to exist and exchange goods and services. If I treated you like you were me, if I had the same love for you that I had for myself, then nobody would ever be hungry, nobody would ever be thirsty, nobody would go without, because we would know that we were indeed different versions of the same thing. And furthermore, we don't believe in religion as it is traditionally taught, like Buddhism and Christianity or Judaism or Islam. We believe that the true religion and the only religion is science, which is the observation of nature, the patterns of nature, and the universal alignment.
Anyways, that's what he said a couple of hours ago on Bigo. But I want to show you something. I'm gonna remind you guys that if these members